Hi everybody, welcome again to another Low on Health Rambling. Today's December 5th, 2010. It's about 7:17 p.m., kind of an afternoon one. If you follow my Facebook or anything or have talked to me recently, then you know I've kind of had a busy week. For those of you who don't know, somebody broke into my house this week, this Tuesday at the very end of the month. Somebody actually broke into my house while I was at work. I don't want to go into the particulars too much, but what I do and can want to say is that I'm okay. Rufus is okay. My cat, he's okay. My place is okay. Nothing was vandalized or broken or anything, so that's kind of good. All my key element things that I need here to live are still here. As you can tell, the computer is still here and the webcam is still here. But I'm not going to really mention how they got in or whatnot, but we'll say that doors have been double barred and locked now, and security's beefed up so much that I've actually kind of hired my own little kind of on-site bodyguard, or guard, I guess, would probably be the best thing. My sister will be staying here for the foreseeable future to kind of keep an eye on the house and whatnot. That, and I have the extra rooms, and she just wants kind of a place to crash, and there you go. So that's kind of the result of it. What they did take, I guess I can discuss. They took all my Blu-ray discs, and which happened to also be the Metal Gear Solid 4 game was also in that Blu-ray kind of shelf, if you were, of games and whatnot. They kind of took a whole shelf of movies and whatnot, which of course includes Batman Begins, Watchmen, the first Iron Man, Fifth Element, Paprika, kind of just basically my Blu-ray collection, and my PlayStation 3 games were also in there. They also took some choice games as of the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater for PlayStation 2 and the Metal Gear Solid Subsistence for Xbox. That's kind of weird. A lot of Metal Gear games gone. I also took my digital camera, which kind of sucks, but I don't really use that digital camera that much. And ironically, it's one of the old digital cameras that uses its own proprietary USB jack. Like, it doesn't use the mini USB jacks, in which case that cable is still here, so they won't be able to use the digital camera. They also they did take my Borderlands game case. I've been renting games from Blockbuster, and they took the case for Borderlands, in which case the game wasn't in there; it was in the system. So they have an empty Borderlands Blockbuster case. In which case I spoke with Blockbuster, and they're cool. I returned the game. They're just happy to have the game. They also took my glasses, which is kind of odd. I did notice that basically they rifled through my medicine cabinets, probably looking for some meds and whatnot, and disappointing that I don't really have any jewelry or meds here. But I think for whatever reason they took my glasses. Maybe I lost my glasses, maybe I misplaced them. I've looked for the past week or so and nothing. I think they took my glasses, and they weren't fancy glasses. But the problem is now without glasses, I have to wear contacts all the time. Looking to get new glasses because I probably need to update my prescription anyway. But it just sucks now because I have to wear my contacts all the time. In which case, towards the tail end of the day, it just kind of gets dry. I do have my backup glasses, but they give me maybe 5 to 8 feet. They're great for computer stuff, but not for gaming. Later on in the week, when I was doing my bills, I also noticed that apparently they took my book of stamps, which I did notice my bill area was kind of rifled through. Apparently they didn't take my checkbook, and I've been checking on that and whatnot, but they did take my book of stamps. I'm pretty sure I had not a full book of stamps, but a book of stamps, and nonetheless, when I was doing my bills, filling them all out, putting the return label on them, went through, put the stamps on them, and ta-da, stamps gone. So it's kind of an eccentric mix of stuff that was taken, because that's really about it. Digital camera, glasses, stamps, and Blu-ray discs, which is kind of weird, and I've kind of gone through the house. The sheriff did come out. They basically fingerprinted everything and whatnot. They'll get back with me, see if they have any positive prints, and then they have to take my prints to see if they're going to be mine, in which case they probably are. But it's just kind of disheartening to a point. Just feel that invasion of space. This is kind of my castle, is what I built up, and somebody's kind of in it. I did have a rough kind of day or so. I took a half day the day after. Work was nice enough. I went to work just to kind of get some things I wanted done, but took a half day to kind of collect myself because I was just kind of the anger and whatnot of somebody breaking in your house. Really couldn't eat, couldn't sleep and whatnot. My mom did stay at night just to make sure I was okay. But yeah, so it's not like that I don't live in a really bad neighborhood. I live in a good neighborhood, and the sheriff I mentioned, this stuff just happens, and there's been a rash of stuff like this, not recently, but in neighborhoods over, 2 neighborhoods over. So I doubt they're going to catch anybody. I doubt that I could call in the pawn shops to kind of get my things back. I mean, overall, they probably didn't take more than like $400 worth of stuff, and even if you try to pawn all that stuff, you probably maybe get $100 out of it, which is kind of sad when you think about it. But they were probably hoping for a bigger score, and unfortunately, not so much. But that's kind of what happened this week, and that kind of just put me in a funk for the rest of the week and whatnot. Just not that great. So that's kind of the story. If you if you want to know more, why not catch my next Xbox Live? I'll talk to you about it and whatnot. I just don't want to talk too much about it on this, even though I'm already rambling on. But in other news and whatnot, I have been, of course, gaming a bunch. I will get to that basically right now before I get to the movies. Once again, with the Blockbuster All Access account, like I said, Blockbuster is nice enough not to get too mad that I lost their Borderlands case. I actually played through this weekend currently. I played and beat the Medal of Honor game, in which case, once again, I'll discuss these in reviews down the road. The Medal of Honor game and the James Bond Bloodstone game. I basically played those two and beat those two this weekend, and then currently I'm working on the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which I'm enjoying immensely and figure I'll probably play throughout the week. But I just want to throw this out there too, that I probably won't be doing any game videos soon because there's so many games out there now. I'm just chewing through them and I'm not really finding the time to, one, I'm writing down my notes, but I haven't had time to dictate the notes into the computer. And then by the time for me to make videos on them, I haven't really had the time to do that because I've been gaming so much. And then, of course, the whole person stealing stuff didn't help either. Excuse me. But that's kind of just what's been going on. And then let me go ahead and talk about the two movies because I did watch movies recently. The first one I watched recently was Inception. Now, this is a movie I heard a bunch about, saw a couple reviews for it, and, you know, I kind of heard not mixed reviews about it, but I've heard some people kind of mention it's kind of full of itself, it's kind of pompous, it's kind of just, you know, I understand it's kind of, you know, intellectual, it's kind of high level thinking here, and this kind of more kind of matrixy, you kind of have to think in different layers and whatnot, and I was able to follow it to an entertaining degree. I don't think I got lost into it. A couple times I did have to stop and go, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, that makes sense. You know, it's not 100% full of itself, and that's what I was afraid of, that it was going to be convoluted and full of itself and kind of pompous. And it wasn't. It was just a good overall film, and I really do recommend it to people to watch it. It's gotten some praise, and I will give it praise. I definitely enjoyed it. The effects are great. The plot is good, and it's just a really good, solid overall movie, and recommend it to people to watch. I also watched recently Despicable Me. Now, every now and then there'll be these types of movies that I'll think about watching, like let's say Up or Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Those are kind of like these Pixar type of movies that I usually don't watch, but I'll hear something about them and I'll decide to watch them. Now, Despicable Me, I was like, hey, whatever, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch it. You know, Steve Carell I'm a fan of. You know, this kind of genre. It's kind of funny and whatnot. Let's go ahead and watch it. So I watched it and was kind of disappointed with it. I don't know what I wanted. I guess I watched these hoping to be wowed. I watched these hoping to be surprised and like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to love this. This movie, not so much. I mean, it's still good. I still recommend, you know, if you have a kid or something, it's probably worth watching. But as a standalone thing, it wasn't that great. It wasn't as fun as I was going to be. So I can't really recommend it to people. I definitely loved Inception more. And, of course, Despicable Me, this isn't really showing much. But you know what Despicable Me is all about. But, other than that, that's really kind of about it. Just been kind of the normal week. I was able to eat Thanksgiving food basically all week. And then with the whole you know, eating turkey 5 days straight, and then the whole breaking and entering thing. My mom was nice enough to take me out to Taco Bell, which is like a feast to me because I hadn't had Taco Bell in forever, which was nice. And then my sister, who came by, actually made me dinner 2 nights and pizza, and I've actually gone a couple days without chicken nuggets because I haven't eaten chicken nuggets for dinner for basically 2 or 3 weeks straight, in which case I was finally able to eat chicken nuggets last night, which is kind of boring, I know, but I just like to ramble on, and that's just kind of the sadness of my life. It's very condensed and very cheaply made and whatnot, which is, I guess, probably sad that people broke into a place like this that doesn't have much to begin with, which is just kind of funny and sad all at once. But I'm still coming to terms with it, you know, move on and everything. I'm not going to let it get me down. I did kind of go through the emotional extremes of like, oh, well, maybe if I didn't have a house, maybe I could just, you know, I won't deal with this house anymore. But, you know, people can break into apartments, people can break into cars, bad stuff does happen. You know, if anything, maybe I was overdue for something bad to happen to me. But it did kind of put it on the record, let me put in context that with all the good and bad of, let's say, this year and last year, this year was probably worse than last year. If the people that know me put that in perspective, last year was probably better than this year, and it has a month to go, but I'm pretty sure that hopefully this year could pick up, but I doubt it. But hopefully 2011, that's going to be the year everything kind of goes my way again, which a lot of people will argue things have always gone my way, and this is just basically me getting what I deserve or whatnot. But anywho, that's me rambling on. As always, I like to thank you guys for watching. I am fine. Rufus is fine. The house is fine. I'm getting by. I just had to go through the steps of grief and everything, but and anger and all that good stuff. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.